Hello agents, and welcome to episode 31 of the Ingress Insights podcast, hosted by myself, PkmnTrainerJ. Ingress Insights is a podcast all about the 90 game Ingress, where I cover news, rumours, updates, anything to do with the game where we make triangles. In this episode I'll be going over the Global Op final score, because that hadn't quite finished last time I recorded, the Shard Skirmish 02 final score, which is just finished as I'm recording this, and some updates on the app update and Mother's Day, as well as the next Wayfarer challenge. So first of all, I'll move into covering the Buried Memories news with the Global Op and the Shard Skirmish. The Buried Memories Global Link and Field Op hadn't quite finished when I last recorded and spoke about it on the 2nd of May was when I recorded that, though you heard it on the 5th. But it's now concluded, so the final results for that are Enlightened got 96.5 points, whereas Resist got 103.5 points. So that concluded on the 6th of May. It ran over for a bit of extra time due to issues at the start, but the end result for that is Resistance won the Global Link and the Field Op. There's not been updates on how that will affect the scores, whether there's any multipliers for anything as yet, but that may be to come in future. Then moving on to the second Shard Skirmish for Buried Memories, which has just recently finished. So just to give you the headline, it's been a bit of a Resistance dominance on this one, with Resistance getting 93.5 points, whereas Enlight only got 28 points. So I'm just going to go through the cities on here and provide updates on those. So these go in terms of Enlightened shards first, then Resistance shards, Enlightened points, then Resistance points, just because that's how it's laid out. So in Yerevan, Enlightened got 8 shards, whereas Resistance got 2. And in Doha, Enlightened got 0 shards, Resistance got 11. So that was 0 points to Enlightened, 5.5 to Resistance. In Izmir, Enlightened again got 0 shards, Resistance got all 12, giving them 6 points, Enlightened getting 0. In Javaskala, if I've pronounced that right, Enlightened again got 0 shards, Resistance got 10 shards, giving Resistance 5 points, Enlightened 0. In Thessaloniki, again Enlightened got 0 shards, Resistance got 12, giving Enlightened 0 points and Resistance 6 points. In Ventspils, Enlightened got 1 shard, and the Resistance got 8, giving Enlightened 0.5 points and Resistance 4.0 points. There's the exact same score in Basel, where there was 1 Enlightened shard, 8 Resistance shards. In Bonn, it was 1 Enlightened shard, 9 Resistance shards, so 0.5 to the Enlightened, 4.5 to Resistance. In Bydgoszcz, if I've said that right, it was 3 to the Enlightened and 4 to Resistance, with 1.5 to Enlightened and 2 to Resistance. In Cape Town, Enlightened scored 0 shards again, and Resistance got 12, giving Enlightened 0 points and Resistance 6 points. In Gavle, the Enlightened got 3 shards, and Resistance got 4, giving 1.5 to the Enlightened and 2 points to the Resistance. In Haarlem, this one where Enlightened got more shards for a change, so they got 6 shards, whereas Resistance got 5, so that was 3 to Enlightened and 2.5 points to Resistance. In Hof, the Enlightened got 2 shards, whereas Resistance got 8, so that was 1 point to Enlightened and 4 points to the Resistance. In Montpellier, that's a rare one where Enlightened got a lot more shards, so there was 9 to the Enlightened and 2 to Resistance, so 4.5 points to Enlightened and 1 to Resistance. In Nantes, the Enlightened got 7 shards and Resistance got 4, so 3.5 points to Enlightened, 2 to Resistance. In Ostrava, it was an even split, so 5 shards to each faction, 2.5 points each. In Pisa, Enlightened scored only 1 shard, and Resistance got the other 10. So that was 0.5 to Enlightened and 5 points to Resistance. In Stavanger, it was 3 shards for the Enlightened and 9 for Resistance. So 1.5 points to Enlightened, 4.5 to Resistance. In Tromsøya, it was equal with 2 shards each, so 1 point each there. And in Valletta, there were no shards scored apparently, so there's 0 across the board. In Belfast there was 1 enlightened shard scored and 9 resistance, so 0.5 points to enlightened, 4.5 to resistance. In Norwich it was 3 shards enlightened versus the resistance is 7 shards, so 1.5 points to enlightened, 3.5 to resistance. In Santa Cruz de Tenerife, the enlightened got 0 shards, whereas it's got 9, so nothing to enlightened and 4.5 to the resistance. These next two, the enlightened got no shards, so skip that. So the resistance in Setúbal got 12 shards, getting 6 points versus resistance 0, and then in Reykjavik, resistance got 13 shards versus enlightened 0, so resistance got 6.5 points. So this time round it was a bit of a bouncing to the enlightened by the resistance, so getting a lot more points and enlightened not scoring any in many locations. So that wraps up our Shard Skirmish 02. There's a Shard Skirmish 03 in June, but we'll get to further details of that when we move into June. And the final Buried Memories update on this episode is just a reminder that we've got 2 XM anomalies coming up. So on the 18th of May, we've got the Buried Memories anomaly in Naha, and the 25th of May sees the Buried Memories anomaly in Chicago. These are our penultimate ones for Buried Memories. There are ones in June on the 15th in Kuching and Budapest, but we are almost wrapped up now for the Buried Memories anomaly season, so I'll be keen to see what the score kind of tops out at. It seems like Resistance are leading at the moment because they've been dominating in a few events. Someone in the Enlightened, I hope that turns around, but Resistance are doing well obviously in pushing the right things and getting the right agents out there doing the work, so congrats Resistance. Moving on now to our next section. Moving on now to our non-Buried Memories news. The Ingress team shared an update on their social media channels on the 8th of May to say Grutzi agents, an NIA operative, will be monitoring Fantasy Basel May 9th to 11th at Hall 1.1, Messe Basel. Provide this passphrase agents everywhere all at once in order to receive a small support package from the NIA. As always, operate with caution. Just to mention, the message did originally say Hall 11, but they updated that to say it was Hall 1.1. I'm aware that by the time you listen to this, it will have passed, but if you were able to attend Fantasy Basel, which as I understand it is like a Swiss Comic-Con, so if you were able to attend and you got the package from the NIA operative, that would be nice to know what it was. I suspect it's something small like a loadout card, but if it was anything cool or kind of exclusive, that would be great to know. If you can let me know, thank you. Now it's time for our usual Second Sunday reminder. So today, as you listen to this podcast on the 12th of May, it is Second Sunday. At the moment, you can earn a Second Sunday tick on that medal by going out and completing 6 unique missions. Again, they can be missions you've done previously, but you can't do the same mission 6 times and get the badge tick. You have to do 6 unique missions, and this remains the same for May and also for June, but Niantic have hinted that this may change in future. They have been hinting that for some time, but we do now have the task-based system, which agents thought may be the way that Second Sunday works going forward by completing a series of tasks, so we may see changes to that in Q3. But for now, for May and for June, it's just a case of complete 6 unique missions, so get out there, complete some missions, see what's nearby, and if you've not got much nearby, you may consider creating some via the Ingress mission creator so you're ready for next Second Sunday. On the 10th of May, we got an update to the Ingress Prime app, so we should now be running version 2.141.1. The update notes that they fixed the retry logic for the in-game store, fixed the news feed not displaying long news titles, fixed the beacon item in Kinetic Capsule Carousel, and added inventory attack com icons for swipe gestures on the main menu button. So this update is slowly rolling out. I'd imagine most people have got it by now, by the 12th, but you can see if you go to look in your Kinetic Capsule programs, the icon has changed for the peace beacon. It looks a bit less erratic, I guess, is the term I'm going to use. So it's just like a plain beacon placeholder instead of having all the spires and bits around it. but that's been updated, so head to your App Store and your Play Store and you can get that and download the latest version of the Ingress Prime app. I would think for most agents listening to this podcast, today is Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day in the US and some other countries, not Mother's Day in the UK. That happened back in March. But Niantic have added a badge to the Ingress store to celebrate Mother's Day and shared a news item where they say NIA intercepts unusual ADA activity linked to Mother's Day. And they show off the badge there and say there's no force in the universe stronger than a mother's love for her child processes. The Mother's Day, the NIA has intercepted unusual activities from ADA via the Portal network, coinciding with what is known as Mother's Day. It appears ADA detected a unique surge in emotional state identified as motherly love. ADA's findings indicate this powerful emotion may temporarily enhance typical human capabilities. Agents motivated by motherly love demonstrated unexpected increases in physical and cognitive performance. Additionally, zones with high concentrations of motherly love were linked to fluctuations in XM levels. This suggests a potential connection between this intense human emotion and XM. This discovery raises fascinating possibilities, states an anonymous NIA researcher. If motherly love unlocks hidden human potential, understanding its impact on XM is crucial. The implications could be far-reaching. The NIA is dedicating significant resources to investigate the full extent of this phenomenon and its potential applications in the ongoing XM conflict. To commemorate this extraordinary discovery, the NIA is launching a limited-time ADA Mother's Day Medal Bundle in the App Store at 30,800 CMU from the 12th of May 2024 to the 26th of May 2024 midnight UTC. We'll get into details of what's in that bundle as well. In the bundle, you get obviously the ADA Mother's Day 2024 medal, 2 ADA Refractus, 2 Jarvis viruses, 2 Portafractus, and 5 rare kinetic capsules. Because it's a character medal and not a festive medal, that does mean it's 30,800 CMU. This was discussed with Brian Rose back in the time when the Dark XM Clue medal came out. Technically, it's not a Halloween medal, it's a character medal. So again, this is a character medal for ADA that just happens to be put up on Mother's Day. So if it was a pure Mother's Day medal, it would be 2,500 CMU. But as it's a character that's on the medal, it's 30,800 CMU for the bundle. Again, that's available until the 26th of May 2024 at midnight UTC. So pick up the badge if you do want it and get the contents of the bundle. Just a final personal Ingress update before I move into Wayfarer items. So I play quite a bit of Dungeons and Dragons, big old nerd, and I got some Ingress dice, the official Enlightened dice, recently made by Q Workshop, I believe. I got them via another store, but they managed to rock up absolutely fine. I'm looking forward to using them when I play Dungeons and Dragons next week, if that's something people are interested in knowing how well they've rolled and whether they got me any natural ones or natural 20s next time. I'll update on that and see how the dice go for me. On to our last bit of news now, which is Ingress Adjacent being about Wayfarer. So the latest Global Reviewer Challenge for Wayfarer has now been announced. That was posted on the 10th of May on the Wayfarer community forums by Niantic Tintino, and it is a race around the world theme. So they note, hello explorers, start packing your bags and freshen up on your piloting skills. The Wayfarer team invites you to join some virtual race around the globe via our first Wayfarer challenge of the year. This challenge will take place starting May 15th, 2024 at 1 PM PDT through May 22nd, 2024 at 1 PM PDT. We will be taking off from Japan, making our first stop to refuel in the USA, and then making a final stop in Germany to fuel up before the final stretch back to Japan. How did we pick these challenges locations? Well, before we share that, the ambassadors and the Wayfarer team are excited to share that for the first time ever, our Wayfarer challenge will include edits. I'm sure you can guess it now, Japan, USA and Germany are the countries with the largest edit backlogs in the world. We can't wait to have a Wayfarer community take on the edit backlogs of these countries. Being that this challenge will be the first time we have edits as part of the experience, we'll be mixing up the edits with nominations to assist in reaching the tiered reward goals and test how our community reacts to many more edits and reviews than usual. More details about in-game and Wayfarer awards will be posted at the start of the challenge. So I'll link to the Wayfarer forum post if you want to discuss that in there. I know many agents are looking forward to another OPR Live badge tick. Hopefully that is included. It's not guaranteed or mentioned in there, but we will get more details on the 15th of May when it's announced on there. But if there's any kind of particular awards you're looking forward to or you'd like, then I'd suggest posting them in the Wayfarer community forums. I know most people are after the OPR Live badge tick. It's what I'm looking forward to personally. It won't get me the next level of the medal, but I'll be getting closer and slowly inch my way there on the OPR Live medal. So I'm excited to get that started off. Previously we had announcements, the edits guide, its contribution management page, so they're now stacking up. I can see all my ones from many years ago that aren't yet resolved, so I'm hoping just generally with more people reviewing they might get resolved anyway from the UK, or maybe the UK will get added as an extra country if we run out of edits. Doesn't seem likely given the large amount I know I've personally got, but you never know. Last few Wayfarer challenges seem to have run out on things. So that's all for the news. So I'm going to move on to our feature section now. For this week's feature, with hopefully more agents reviewing starting the 15th of May for the Wayfarer Challenge, I want to look at the Recon Medal rather than the OPR Live Medal. So the Recon Medal is awarded to agents participating on Wayfarer by reviewing Wayspot submissions and edits. The Ingress wiki notes that only those analysis whose ultimate fate matches the agent's rating are counted. So this means getting agreements. Also, the agent's performance rating needs to be good or great. Agreements gained when the agent's rating is fair or poor do not count towards the medal. And they also note the medal description still mentions Operation Portal Recon, the previous name of Wayfarer before it was written. Seeing as we still have OPR Live as well, I don't think that will change. So the description of the medal says, made beneficial contributions to the Operation Portal Recon and the expansion of the Portal network. To get the bronze medal, that's 100 agreements, silver is 750, gold is 2,500, platinum is 5,000, and onyx is 10,000 agreements. I think I've got it at wings a few times on there. I think I'm on about 40,000 agreements because I do obviously a lot of Wayfarer, being a Niantic Wayfarer ambassador, and when I first got access to OPR for doing reviews, I went quite heavy on it to try and learn what it was I should be doing, how I should be reviewing, and try and teach myself for what I should be submitting on there. I did make some mistakes early on, but those are now corrected. I know what I'm doing now in regards to Wayfarer, fortunately. But that's all for the Recon medal. I'd like to know what level you've got yours at and whether you'll be trying to hope to up it whilst doing the upcoming Wayfarer challenge. So then I'll move on and get us all wrapped up and get you back to your Sunday. Thank you, agents, for listening to episode 31 of the Ingress Insights podcast. If you'd like to follow the show, you can do that by following us on Threads or Instagram under the name ingress.insights. And you can also email us on ingress.insights@gmail.com. As always, interacting with the polls and Q&A or sending us a voice message helps increase visibility of the show. So if you do have time, I'd appreciate you doing that or sharing the podcast with other agents so they listen as well. And next time we'll probably be looking at the Naha anomaly if it's happened by the time I'm recording. I don't know my kind of schedule for the following week, as well as any updates to the Ingress app and any other badges, things we get like that. We are expecting to get the 3 badges for Buried Memories, the 2 Resistance agents and the Buried Memories supporter badge on the 17th of May. So those should be out, at least the images for them, even if not the badges added to the store by the time I record. So that's what we're doing. So I'll let you all now get back to your Sundays. And if it's Mother's Day for you, happy Mother's Day, enjoy your hacking, and see if you can get your mother playing Ingress maybe. Thank you, agents.